cannabis industry first was introduced through Amendment 64, there were concerns from the community about a cash-only business. Concerns about the possibility of robbery or injuries to citizens, to city employees, and to the employees of the industry itself.
We were a target, knowing that it's all over the media and the news that most cannabis businesses didn't have access to a proper bank account. It even furthered our exposure in that way. So I knew that, if my employees were making deliveries and coming back with tens of thousands of dollars, it's a safety concern and something that kept me up at night and still does.
The biggest concern obviously is robbery. We paid our employees in cash, and now that Safe Harbor has come in, they've set us up with a payroll service so that we can pay using direct deposit and checks.
I lost 4 bank accounts before Safe Harbor was a possibility for us. So as much as I could pay my vendors in cash, I did.
We started the Safe Harbor program just with depository services. Checking accounts, savings accounts, check writing, bill pay, debit card access, and online banking.
The employees are very excited about that because they don't have to worry about putting cash in their pockets every other week and walking out of here, and they know that it's safe and that it's in a bank account.
We've evolved the program now to include some payroll options and electronic wallet options to reduce the cash in the community, and then just recently moved into lending options for our clients.
I used to go around to our biggest vendors with $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 at a time, park in the street and walk into their operation and go in the back room and put it in a cash counter and go through that process.
There's been several various challenges. The initial one was getting past the state government and the various entities within it that regulate marijuana, and the other aspect being that we were keeping the people of Denver a lot safer by taking loads of cash off the street. And then the final was selling our membership, that what we were doing was more in the line of what credit unions do, and that served the underserved.
My biggest fear was putting my board in harm's way because they were subject to prosecution, as was I. And anyone that touched the program could be a suspect as complicit for helping the marijuana industry. I think that was my biggest concern, and is still to this day. Even though we've got 2 years under our belt at this point in time, there's no guarantee.
So there are a couple of components to it that impact us in a big way. One is when we take in new money from new investors, it has to get vetted by us and by Safe Harbor. So there's a lot of documentation that's required, things like W-9s and operating agreements from new investors that prove that this money is legitimate. Then secondly, once we have access to that money, we can use it in our operations, and then at the end of every month, Safe Harbor has a reporting process where we send them our financial statements and the movement of our inventory and our cash so that they can see what's going on inside our company.
Marijuana is a difficult subject to even open up, let alone open up in a boardroom of conservative bankers. The book was meant to help the conversation get started at a level necessary to explore further options in terms of developing other programs throughout the country. Certainly, one credit union can't handle one market, and we need to encourage other credit unions to get involved.
On the 80-some customers that we have, we've taken approximately $500 million off the streets of Denver.
The Safe Harbor program, it seems to be a beacon for where we can go with banking, and the fact that they've done it in a rigorous way, but also kind of reported out that they're doing it in a public way, I think has been a good sign that you can do this. You can do this and be open that you're doing this.
It's comforting to me as a cannabis business to know that a bank is willing to take the same kinds of risks that I've taken.
I don't know if we could do what we're doing now safely and in good conscience without Safe Harbor helping us along the way.